Hey, this is Ellie from Magic Beans, and in this YouTube Live, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about booster seats and getting ready for the carpool lane. We are doing this live stream in at the end of August of 2022. It's actually August 15th, so we're halfway through August, and people are getting ready to go back to school. In many states, or not many states, in some states, people are already back to school and you may be taking your preschool or your kindergarten or your first grader to school, and you have kids coming into your car for carpooling them if you're a parent who carpools. So, we are going to talk today about carpooling and booster seats. So, the first thing you need to know is that you should have your kid in a booster seat until they are old enough to be in a seatbelt. I just did a live stream on Instagram on the very same topic, but I had a very special guest, Sarah Tilton, who is the head car seat tech for Britex car seats. So go check out at mbeans.com. I'll put it in the chat in the side. mbeans.com over on Instagram. Sorry. And watch that after this live stream. And you could, oh, by the way, you could also feel free to drop your comments below, either during this live stream or after the live stream. So, like I said, this is what Sarah was talking about, and this is really, really true. Seatbelts are designed for adults. They're designed for adults. This is something that if you are 4 foot 9 or taller, 5 feet, 6 feet, etc., if you're tall and you're an adult, you should be in a seatbelt because they're designed for adults. You wouldn't put a child in adult clothing, right? You wouldn't go to a shoe store and get an adult shoe for a child. You wouldn't go to a store and get an adult shirt or pants or a skirt or a dress, whatever, for your child. So that you have to think about a seatbelt being something for an adult. When you're not an adult, when you're a kid, you need to be in something for kids. And the things that are for kids are booster seats and harnessed seats. So it is safer. It is safer to have your kid, and it's also by the law in many states to have your kid in a booster seat until they are old enough to graduate like into the adulthood or into teenagehood or into older kidhood into a seatbelt. And the reason for that is because a seatbelt, like I said, just like you wouldn't put an adult shirt on a kid, a seatbelt goes over the bony hips of a person. And if they are not in a booster seat, the lap belt in particular goes over their guts, the softer tissue, the softer organs part of their body, which if they're in a crash is not safe. The other thing is that if they are uncomfortable with the neck belt, they're going to take the neck belt and put it behind their head, do this other stuff, and that's going to be unsafe as well. So we want their kids in a booster seat because it's way safer than to have them just in a seatbelt. With that said, it's really important that adults are in seatbelts all the time and that kids are in seatbelts. And now, when your kid is old enough to be in a seatbelt, you'll one of the tells are, besides being tall enough to fit that adult safety belt, is that their feet will be touching the ground. And when their feet touches the ground, it means that they're not going to slouch and like go underneath the seatbelt again. Same reason, putting that lap belt and shoulder belt in a bad position, which makes it unsafe. So you definitely want that. Now, in terms of a harness seat, we love our kids in a 5-point harness because, again, very safe way to ride. Keeps your kid from ejecting in the car. You don't have to worry about them like unbuckling or doing anything weird on the back. And you want to keep your kid in that seatbelt, in that harness seat as long as possible, for sure to the maximum weight and height of or height that you want of that harness seat. So there are a lot of great forward-facing harness seats like the Protect Grow With You. You can get like a Noon Exec, which is something that goes from all the way from newborn all the way up to booster seat, and that's a great thing because you can get an all-in-one or a Protect One for life. These are all things that I've done reviews of on the channel. I'll put some links below. I did my best booster seats of 2022 video just a couple weeks ago, so I'll definitely put a link below to that video as well. So that is a safe thing to do. Now, another thing is, like I said, for carpooling, and this is something to think about, is culture in your family may be different from the culture in other families. And something that Sarah Tilton suggested from Britex when I did the live stream on Instagram was that before you start your carpooling journey with other parents, we'd highly suggest that you have a conversation. Go out to coffee or have a conversation via Zoom or on the phone about what the expectation is or what the culture should be of that carpooling families. Because, what you don't want is for like in your car, you require seatbelts and booster seats and all of these child safety things. And that may not be true of all families. So let's get that out to like in the open beforehand, right? So as you're speaking about logistics, when are you going to pick up in the morning? When are you going to drop off? All those different things. Talk about what the culture is going to be in your carpool, and that in the culture in your carpool is safety and having your kids on seatbelts, wearing seatbelts, in booster seats and things like that. So you don't have a kid getting into your car and saying, "Well, in my car, my mom and my dad and my parent doesn't, or my caregiver doesn't have me wear a seatbelt or a booster seat or a baby seat or anything like that." So let's deal with this ahead of time. And then you will have way fewer sort of like awkward moments with the kids when they're actually in your car, which I think was a really, really fantastic idea. And the other thing is that you should identify a place like adjacent to your kid's school, preschool, kindergarten, etc., where you could pull the car over. Because something you should know is that in many, especially if you're starting a new school and you haven't done this before, pickup lines is a really big deal and it's super convenient for parents. So you may have been in a place previously, maybe in a preschool or in a daycare, where you're walking your kid into the daycare, preschool, etc. But at some point in many schools, you have a sort of a driveway or something where you drop the kid off and someone like opens the door and your kid pops out, and at the end of the day your kid pops in. It is super convenient for parents because it's very expeditious, but it's very possible, but it has to move kind of rapidly. So it's possible that once your kid is like put into the car, that their harness is not on properly, the seatbelt is not properly. Find a location really close to, like in the parking lot, maybe of your kid's school, if there's a parking lot there, or somewhere you can pull over. Make sure all of your kids are in there properly. So that is something that is another really awesome tip. If you have any questions about booster seats, you can book a consultation with one of our experts at mbs.com/consultation, and we can take you through whether it's a harness to booster seat or a proper booster seat like a Nuna Ace or a Vertex High Point or um, a a Diono um, Monterey 5. In fact, we're going to be doing a live stream next Monday at 11 a.m. on Instagram. For Monterey 5, we're actually giving away a Monterey 5. So that's a cool thing. So check out our Instagram. Again, go to mbeans.com on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We have really good content there as well, in addition to YouTube. Also, you can find us on TikTok. So we're going to be doing some more car seat safety stuff on TikTok as well. So anyway, if you have any other questions about booster seats or harness to booster seats, just drop a comment below, and I would be happy to answer that after we publish this to our YouTube channel. I hope you had a great day. You have a great week. And remember to come and join us again next Monday at noon Eastern Time for another live stream with me. Drop your comments below if you have other questions, because we will be doing more live Q&As and more consultations live on YouTube Live for our weekly live streams. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great week.